This is our drone video of Tract 13 at Elk Ridge, and the drone's about to take off. There's the little dry erase. I think, what did it say? I missed it. Creek views, electric and paved frontage. It's been a few days since we took this video, so I couldn't recall what we had written there. We're on the north side of the property. The truck is parked on one of the easement roads at Elk Ridge, and we're heading east to get to the property. I believe the truck was actually parked just barely on Tract 12, so we had to head east a little bit, get up onto Tract 13, and we're getting some elevation here and looking to the south. There we go. Basically to the south, a little more to the southwest in that one. But Tract 13, as I recall, we were very, very pleasantly surprised to see how level it was on the north side. You've got the paved frontage on the very bottom of the screen, and then you have kind of that easement road or trail that you see just below the middle of the screen. And that runs along the north side of all the northern tracts at Elk Ridge. And so the existing approach, I believe there's one on Tract 8, there's one on Tract 11, so you can pull onto that, and that is part of the easement network, so you can pull right on and take the trail network to Tract 13. Or, I mean, you've got direct paved road frontage. If you wanted to do your own private approach, that'd be fine as well. You could contact the highway department to get any details on that. So now we're flying directly south, just slowly going over Tract 13. This was logged along with all the other properties at Elk Ridge. It was logged 4 or 5 years ago. It wasn't clear cut, but it was logged pretty heavily. You can see there are a few mid-size and mature trees left, but predominantly thousands and thousands of young oak trees. 4 and 5 year old oak trees are starting to grow up, and different varieties as well, but probably 80% hardwood, red and white oak. But you'll find pine, cedar, hickory, many different species out there. Now it looks like we're just about over the creek. Whoop, and I panned up. If you look where the thick trees start, that is just south of the property. So where it goes from logged to not logged, that would be the south line. This being the property that was logged. So we're just about to the south end of Tract 13. And it looks like we'll slowly pan back around. You can see the trail, or I'd call it a road, but it's not for full-size vehicles. It's more of a trail for four-wheelers, side-by-sides. So you can park directly on the property on the north end, like we did. We parked on Tract 12, but had we kept going another couple hundred feet, we would have been on Tract 13. And then you can unload your four-wheeler and take that trail. That bend you see in the road right there, that is right on Tract 13. So you've got a kind of a cool way to access the southern part of the property. Now I believe we're looking more at the creek bed, which is really hard to see with all the young trees growing over it. But I believe we did take another video where we actually did walk down to the creek, and it was flowing pretty well. It hadn't been raining for a couple weeks, and it was flowing pretty well. But we definitely are not going to call it a year-round creek. It very well, excuse me, very well could dry up at any time throughout the year, but it was flowing nicely when we were out there. So now we're slowly heading back to the north. We're looking toward the middle of the screen. That's basically, you can almost call it a cliff. I don't know if it's a sheer drop, but it is a very steep drop. So the Tract 13, flat on the north end, you go back a couple hundred feet and it drops down. Then it goes down slowly to the creek and back up slowly to the south side. And it does have another flat area, kind of a ridge area on the south side as well. So the thing I remember about Tract 13 when we actually got out there and were able to really look at it was it had a surprisingly large level area on the north end. I thought it came off steeply immediately from the paved road. It does not. It slopes down a little bit from the paved road, and then it's level for a couple hundred feet back in the tree line. So you have enough place up there to do a campsite or a home or a cabin. Now we're looking on the north side of the paved road. That's not the property, but it's a pretty view of the Ozark Hills. Looking to the west, hovering directly over the property basically. You can see the power line there. That's a residential line, so you can hook into that. So if you want to build or have power on the north end, you've got power directly on the property, which is pretty cool. We'll pan back to the south, and I think the video is about to come to an end here. But Tract 13, definitely a nice one, and it had the bonus of having, I think, the most level area of any of the tracts on the north, including Tract 12, which has, Tract 12 is twice as wide, but I don't think it has the nice level area that Tract 13 has. And then, of course, you've got access to the south end as well. So check it out at InstantAcres.com, and we would be thrilled to work with you.